Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Dave with Dave's Acrylic Pouring, and this is the second video of my series. These are the how-tos. So today is going to be a flip cup, and it's going to be real simple. I've already put all my colors in. I have mixed them up and poured them into my cup here. As you can see, I've got my good layers of different colors. And I'm going to bring you down here so you can see what we're doing. There you go. Alright. So basically there's two ways to do this when you do a flip cup. You can either flip the cup completely upside down. I'm going to empty cup here to show you. I could take the cup like this and quickly flip it like this, but that kind of like slops the paint over to the side. So that's not technically, or that's not the proper way to do it, I guess. As I would say, the easiest way is to turn the canvas upside down like this, bringing your full cup of paint from the bottom, and you're going to bring your paint to the canvas just like this, and you're going to put your hand on the back and flip the whole thing over just like this. Now your paint is upside down on here, and then you can set it back down. Okay, so that's basically how we end up doing our flip cups like that. So with that being said, I am going to actually go ahead and do that. Let me move this closer to me. Move the camera up. I knew I had it in the wrong spot. All right. There we go. So these flip cups are really, really easy. There is no base coat on this whatsoever. There's no paint on here. And that's how we end up doing our flip cup. You end up using a little bit more paint in your actual flip cup, in your colors, because you don't have a base down here. So you got to make sure that you have a full cup. You do not want a gap in between here. You want the paint all the way to the top of the cup. If you feel like you're not going to have enough paint, or if you feel like you have too much paint for a cup this size, go with a smaller size cup and fill it up to the brim. Reason being is because when you flip that over, if your paint is only up to where my finger's at, you've got this much air. As soon as you flip it over, it's going to splatter. It's going to fall and splatter, and that will mix your paint. You don't want to do that. So, okay. We are going to hold our paint, turn our canvas upside down, set that cup right in the middle, palm underneath, and then flip it over. Now your paint should not leak out. It should stay right there. And we're going to leave that there for just a second and allow those paints to try to settle down a little bit. And the reason I say that is because paints are made up of three main ingredients. Your pigment, which is what gives it the color of what it is. And then you have water, and then you have additives. Okay? Depending on the pigment is how heavy that paint is going to be. And depending on how heavy that paint is going to be is depending on how it's going to sit in layers. Okay? You can't stack. It's just like if you think of pouring oil on top of water, or pouring water in on top of oil. The oil is always going to rise to the surface. It's the same way with pigments, okay? These pigments, the lighter ones are always going to rise, where the heavy ones are always going to fall through. Now, that being said, as these fall through your paint like this, it picks up particles from the other paint and brings it down with it. And that will give you beautiful cells with this type of technique. Now, next type of technique for flip cup, before we pick this up, there is two different ways we can do this to create a flip cup, okay? We can lift it straight up and let it come out that way, or we can do what's called the flip and drag, where you flip the cup over, you pick up on it just a little bit and drag it off to the side. Okay, either way is acceptable. It just depends on what you're looking for. For simplicity for today, I'm just going to pick it up nice and slow and let the paint flow out. Okay? actually going to use this little bit of paint that's left over in here and put some here on the edges, because the edges always seem to be the parts that get missed on these when you're stretching it out. It's always the hardest point to get to is these corners. Alright. Do not forget to torch. I have a creme brulee torch here that I always use, and I love it. But we want to pop the bubbles that are in here. And that will give us more cells. Okay? And you can see all these like little bubble things or the different color paint is showing through. That's what your cells are. Okay, so let's go ahead and stretch this out. By stretching it out, we're going to tilt it in different directions. Okay. And whenever I tilt in one direction, I always like to bring the majority of the paint back to the center before I go to a different direction. That way I control the paint does not control me. You want to make sure that you have enough paint to cover your entire canvas, so you don't want to just allow it to just pour off of one side, and then you'll struggle to get the paint back to the other side. Alright, now with the stretch here, you need to be careful, because there is such a thing as overstretching, and I see this so much on a lot of beginners paintings. You know, and I know they're proud, they're definitely trying to get this the system down pat and everything, and they're doing their part, but they overstretch their cells. And when you overstretch your cells, they tend to get really elongated, and you'll see that a lot in some of these paintings where it looks like all of the paint was just like poured off of one side and it's all stretched out and wide and everything like that. But these were just leftover paints that I wanted to get rid of and wanted to do something with, so I thought that why not make a flip cup? Why not make a tutorial on a flip cup? So it worked out. It worked out. Alright. A little bit of cleanup here, and then I'll bring you guys down so you can get a close-up of what this looks like. Alright. Okay. Coming in. And you see these great big cells right here. That's the one I'm talking about with the cells. We don't want to stretch those out. We want to keep those as much as possible. We got some smaller cells going on over here in the green. Now these are all Master's Touch colors. I accidentally threw the bottles away before I was thinking about what I was doing, but these are all Master's Touch colors. And some of these are the pre-mixed ones that you can pick up at Hobby Lobby. But yeah, we've got some really nice lacing and really nice cells going throughout this. And that's what's nice about these flip cups, is that they create these cells on their own without the use of other additives such as silicone or anything else that you're going to put in it. So, alright, thanks very much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. It means the world to me and helps me keep going with this, these tutorials and everything. And remember, just pour your heart out, do whatever you got to do. Make sure you get those creative juices flowing. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.